Introverts get a bad rap. They're seen as either disagreeable, withdraw. Can I help you? This is an invitation. An invitation to what? It's an invitation to. It's an invitation to my. It's a bill. Then why did you tell me it's an invitation? Actually, what? Oh, I got people waving at me. See what I mean? Go. It's for $100. Okay. Now, introverts are nothing like this in real life. They're not antisocial. They're not withdrawn. They're certainly not arrogant. Now, extroverts come with a few misconceptions of their own. Hey, good to see ya. Dude, really good to see ya. How about those Lakers? I wouldn't know. Really good to see you. Really good to see you, too. Listen, I got to go give a speech now on being awesome. Great, great. Go be awesome. See what I mean? Lots of unfair conceptions about extroverts, too. But back to introverts in video. There's a real misconception on the part of introverts when they buy into this face-made-for-radio thing and create stories for themselves on why they shouldn't be on camera. But the research on this could transform the way you see yourself and thus the way others see you when you're on camera. In a moment, why introverts can make the best videos in the world. Hi, I'm Steve Washer with BradyVideo.com, and I'm an introvert. Obviously, I got over the belief that introverts can't put themselves in the public eye, and in this video, you're going to learn why you can make outstanding videos and an approach that will let you do it. To begin, we look at neurobiology and Jungian psychology, which show us that introversion and extroversion lie on a continuum with two matching sets of responses. The first continuum has to do with arousal. Oh no, not that kind of arousal. I'm talking about the stimulation of the ascending reticular activating system. That's the part of our brain that notices very specific things in the world around us. Like if you just bought a new BMW and you start seeing BMWs everywhere. Hey, happens to me every day. Introverts have a high level of arousal all the time, which means they're easily stimulated by their surroundings. And they don't need much interaction to maintain that. In fact, they can be very aroused by little more than an idea they get from sitting reading a book. And that's enough most of the time, a lot of the time. An extrovert, on the other hand, has a very low threshold for arousal, and they have to seek out exciting things to do in order to stay stimulated. Extreme forms of this would be bungee jumping or paragliding. So the first continuum is the threshold of arousal. The introvert has a high threshold and the extrovert has a low threshold. The other continuum is social stimulation. Being highly aroused, introverts can get uncomfortable very quickly being around lots and lots of people. Too much social stimulation and they quickly get to overload and have to withdraw. This is why introverts are often seen as, antisocial. But this isn't true at all. And here's where the Jungians come in, because you can't explain all this with neuroscience. According to Jung, introverts seem weird to others because their thoughts are simply more self-reflective. They get enthusiastic about different kinds of things than extroverts. You know, Zig Ziglar once said that introverts make the best salesmen. Yep. Some say they make the best CEOs. Obviously, they're not antisocial. They value being around trusted friends. They're just more comfortable being alone with their own thoughts. The more interesting and multi-layered those thoughts are, the happier they'll be. Extroverts might be content talking about the weather or last night's game. It isn't that they're shallow, it's that these topics fit more easily into social conversation. Extroverts are just more gregarious, and they get more out of those simple encounters. And when it comes to video, an extrovert can just use their natural friendliness and talk to the crowd. Introverts, on the other hand, have a desire for meaningful and stimulating ideas. Now, listen, please. If you're an introvert, you're just about the ideal candidate for putting your thoughts on video because you'll naturally want to provide value, and you'd rather err on the side of providing too much value rather than too little. So wouldn't you like to be perceived as someone who provides a lot of value every time you get on camera? So if you aren't one already, maybe you need to become an introvert. Now, does this mean that if you're an extrovert, you shouldn't put yourself on camera? Well, of course not. It just means that you'll approach it in a completely different way. What's best for you is to see that camera lens as representing a huge auditorium or stadium filled with people who love you. As an introvert, that would be madness. No, you're going to see that camera lens as representing one really interesting person that you're craving to share your ideas with. See, let's look at the reality here. When you're on camera, you're most likely already alone, right? Which is the introvert's most comfortable environment. So never think that because you may lack a natural tendency to want to schmooze, that you can't be on camera. You can, and you must, if you're going to live in the 21st century and have a real business. So where do you stand on this? Do you shy away from the camera for any reason? If so, what is it? And if you're an extrovert, has this had an effect on you in any way? Please write your response below and let's see if we can shed some more light on this fascinating issue. I'm Steve Washer with brainyvideo.com. I'm Steve Washer.
I'm Steve Washer.
No, I'm Steve Washer.
I'm Steve Washer.
Actually, Steve Washer.
I'm Steve Washer.
Don't you have a Lakers game to go to?